Today I have Bob Pelican stopping by the house. He's got a unique situation with his R1. He wants to raise the handlebars up, well, actually the clip-ons. This is an old R1. And since I've done it to several motorcycles already and with some success, you can be the judge of that. And if you ride the bike, you can figure out whether it works for you or not. But anyway, having handlebar risers or some form of raising the handlebars up as you get older is a great thing, and this is just one way of doing it. So I want to make this really simple so that the information is useful. I have about 5 or 6 sets of Renthal bars. I want one of every height they made. And what I did, I started with the RD. I started with what amounts to be drag bars. They're very low. Raised it up. I was more comfortable, more comfortable, more comfortable. This is the highest set that they make. Some of the bikes with the Renthal bars, and these Renthal bars are really, really nice, but they come in a limited amount of sizes. That's the problem. Now on the old track bike, it didn't matter because you only do 20-minute sessions, and you can be comfortable for 20 minutes. Anybody can, even me. But the big problem is as I'm getting older, and I'm going to be 74 pretty soon, I want to be comfortable on, at minimum, 150-mile ride and maybe 200 on a weekend day. Well, as I've aged, and this is how this whole story started, and that's why I'm going to try to document it. It started with the R1 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I bought the R1 brand new, rode it and it was really in the middle of the winter. When I bought it, it was snowing the day I brought it home. And I never realized, because I didn't go out for any long rides. So it took me maybe 1,000 miles to realize, at the end of 100 miles, I'm not really comfortable. And since I've always had the GS, I was used to being able to ride, like 200 miles, maybe more, relax, cruise. I was just totally, but I didn't realize the big factor was I was getting older. I wasn't 18 years old. I wasn't 18 years for 55 years. So anyway, but here's the point I'm trying to make. Everybody has a different height that they're happy with, a different spread, a different comfort level. Now, part of the thing I try to do, I try to ride a different bike, if not every other day, every 2 days or 3 days or whatever. Not critical. But what I try to do is have a little bit of a different variety of motorcycle experience every time I ride. I don't want to ride the same bike over and over. I don't want to ride Groundhog Day life. I don't want to go on the same ride over and over and over either. But this bike, and since we're still at the end of the FZR restoration here, after 220 days or something, this bike, and I'll just use this one as an example. I had clip-ons on it. We bought it. We did about 3 or 4 years of track days. They were fine. 20-minute sessions, fine. I'd ride on the street, they were okay. But when I put the handlebars on, now I have a bike that for me, I can ride all day. And for me, that's more important than whatever the benefit might be of you look cool going down the street, or you can see the bottom of your soles of your shoes or something. That, to me, the looking cool part takes a back seat to the fact I could sit on this bike, and Vlad was just over here. When Vlad sat on a bike, I know, I got to be honest, I know he was comfortable. Now, I've already documented on previous videos, and you can go back to the ones where these are parts that come from a 250 Ninja. They're an exact bolt-on fit. You can make spacers out of blocks of aluminum. Kind of self-explanatory, but I do have a video of how to do it. The parts, I believe, Luciano found them for me on eBay. I think they were $12. I'm not sure. By the way, new, they're pretty expensive. And I had gotten frustrated thinking about it that I'd have to spend over $100. $12, I could take a chance. When I put them on the bike and went for the first long ride, came home, jumped off the bike, went up on a porch, had my coffee, and I said, wow, was that ever worth the money? Now, the thing with raising the bars is there's several ways to do it. You can do it, there's a thing called Healy bars. There's what people do, and now this bike you can't do it on, but you can do it on an RD. They put spacers under here. There's various things you can buy, and there's a lot of ways to do it. When it comes to clip-ons, there's one way I've found, these are called SWAT bars. SWAT bars raise where the clip-on would be up about 2 inches, and you can vary it. The problem is you've got to be a little creative if you get all the adjustments right. And I want to go over this real quick because I'm going to show the SWAT bars and I'll show the history of how this all evolved. So I bought the SWAT bars originally. They were about 200 bucks if I remember right. They're really well made out of machine aluminum, machine quality, aircraft quality aluminum. And what they do is to put them on, you would have to take the top triple tree off, take the original clip-ons off, put the top triple tree back, and now these go on without taking a triple tree on and off, and I'll show how that works. I'm probably going to wind up helping Bob at some point in time if this works for him. But then instead of the handlebars being down here, they're up 2 inches. Now the other thing is you can vary the bars front to back. So a lot of people like the angle. If you look at the angle of, now I don't know why this is, to be honest. These are bars from a GS Suzuki 1100. These have exactly the bend, the height, and the rake, the amount that they come back, that I'm comfortable with. Luckily, I have 2 sets of these bars. I have one on this bike, one on the yellow bike, and actually I have 3. What am I talking about? I'm getting ahead of myself. These bars was very hard to find on eBay. They were almost impossible. It took me a long time. And what I did, I have, because I liked them so much, you notice I have GS 1100 bars, GS 1100 bars, GS 1100 bars. I got a GS 1100 over there that has Renfield bars. So, but here's the point. This works for me. It might not work for Bob. Now Bob, because he's in a lot better physical shape than I am, he may want to be lower, higher. You never know. But this is going to give him an opportunity to try it without spending $200. And if he doesn't like it, he can give it back to me. So the way this worked, I used these SWAT bars, I think about 2 years. And then I finally got to the point, I said, you know, I raised the bars up 2 inches. I was really a lot happier. I want to raise them 3 inches. And the only way to do that, of course, is with handlebars. And I went to what happened on the R1. I had very low Renfield bars. And by the way, these parts that attach the bars to the triple tree, these are RD 400 parts that you can buy off eBay for about 10 bucks. I made my own spacers, so I can, on this case, with the RD parts, I can infinitely raise and lower them. That's a real nice feature. It's the same thing with the FZR. I have exactly the same thing. I can raise and lower the bar, but they're at a height. It just happens that those GS bars are exactly the height for my crippled up body. So you have the RD parts and the spacer to get even an extra inch or lower or make it higher. That's really not a big deal to do that, but it does give you even an infinitely more choice. Now the reason it's good is a lot of times when you do fit them, the levers wind up hitting something, and you can lower the levers, you can move the bars back. It's infinite what you have to do here. In the case of the R1, the biggest problem on the R1 was the clutch cable. The clutch cable, no matter what I did, I couldn't find a way of figuring out how to do it. I had to pull the whole side of the motorcycle off and reroute it in a totally different path, and I never even had to buy a different clutch cable. The wires were long enough. I zip tie them to the bars. The throttle cable can be a pain in the neck to retrofit, and a lot of times, in this case, I was converting the bike over to having steel brake lines, so it was a no-brainer. I bought the steel brake line, 2 inches longer, solved the whole problem. So there are a myriad of little things, but they're all solvable. That's what the point I wanted to make. Now, with the SWAT bars, a lot of times you don't have to change a whole lot. But you always do have to do what I call the Frajewskiizing. There's always something. The bars can come back and hit the tank if you don't have them adjusted right, and they can hit the fairing. They can, but when you get it done and you have this whole thing done, and you go for that first 200-mile ride, you come back and you go, man, why did I wait to do this? So the problem is always, we were all young at one time and those clip-ons looked so attractive and the bikes looked so cool and we thought we'd all look like Valentino Rossi. But as we age, we all want to go for some nice, comfortable rides. And I don't think I'm any different than anybody else. Now, the history of the SWAT bars, I bought them again in 09, maybe in 10 I bought them. I called back a year later to buy another pair, and the website wasn't available, and I could never find out where to get them from. I'm not sure they went out of business. Maybe they're back in business, but the people that I originally bought them from, SWATT, were very, very nice, and they were very, very nice to do business with, and the parts are extreme good quality. But when I was done with them, I offered them to several people. I think Vince had them for a while. He was going to use them on his Aprilia. I know Vlad has had them for a year or so. He hasn't wound up using them. But other people have borrowed them, used them, tried them. And the nice thing is, if you find out it doesn't work for you, you can just take them off. That you don't even have to take the top triple tree off other than to put your clip-ons back on. So my goal with this video is to try to put every possible little thing that I can remember and think of concerning handlebar, converting a sport bike to handlebars. It sounds like it would be very difficult. It can be annoying, the little problems you run into, but every one of them is solvable. And I guarantee you, if you're like me, you're getting a little old in the tooth or long in the tooth or whatever, what happens is when you get the job done and you have that comfortable seating position, one of the things you find out is the bike didn't get any slower. It doesn't cost you 1 horsepower. Now, somebody's going to say to me, oh, at over 150 miles an hour, you can't get down under the fairing. Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't do that anymore anyway. And by that point in time, let all the young guys run off with the trophies. I don't care. And here's what I can say without any hesitation at all. Every bike that I have taken the original handlebars that were too low for me and raised them up to where they were comfortable. See, here's the other thing. I never sell motorcycles. So a lot of people might say, oh, I've got a low set of handlebars. I'll just buy another bike. I'll sell that bike that's uncomfortable and buy one with handlebars. Yeah, and you can do that. That's for sure. But in my case, I like to keep the bikes I've had, especially the ones I've had. These are the 2 I've had since new. And I like constantly refining them so that they fit my body. So Bob is on his way over here. I'm going to try to get all the information I can onto one video. Try to help him out if I can. I don't know if that's going to be really how much I can help him. He's a pretty good mechanic. I think he can figure most of it out on his own. But we'll try to include it on the video. And when he gets the bike set up, try to get a hold of him and see if we can get his opinion on how it worked out for him. And the good news, if it doesn't work, put him back in a box, and then there'll be another person somewhere down the road that might want to try them. They're SWAT bars, S-W-A-T-T. These are the world famous SWAT fish. They don't care where the handlebars are or if you have clip-ons. All they care about is put the food in the water. And boy, they have a one-track mind. No, this is not marijuana. These are some plants I'm growing from seeds. These are little zinnias. Just thought I'd show them. Legal in New Jersey forever. So again, in the last 10 years, several people have had these. Pretty self-explanatory what they do. They mount onto the fork legs. You have the bars, which are infinitely adjustable back and forth, and you can slide up and down the fork leg, except for with normal clip-ons, you'd be limited to this. This gives you an extra, I think it's 2 inches or 1.5 inches. It doesn't really matter now. I've already made a lot of modifications to these bars for my projects, and I see some other people might have done it too. But we have, these have been communal bars. They are really nice. You can make them short. This is a nice thing too. You make them shorter and longer, move them back and forth so they don't hit the tank or the fairing or both. Again, they're called SWAT bars. And when I bought these, I thought they were pretty unique. And I don't know, maybe here's the name right here, S-W-A-T-T. I thought maybe they were very unique. They may still be in business. I haven't kept up with it because what I've done with the whole thing is I've gone on to wanting GS bars on all my bikes. But I'm sure Bob Pelican This will be a great thing for him to try. We'll see how it works out for him. So here's the thing, Bob.
Okay.
Take this. Let's flip it open here 1 second.
Wow.
You can figure what this is. Billet aluminum. It's aircraft aluminum. You can figure how this goes on, right? Pretty much. You can you can dope this out before you even use it. You have infinite control of forward and back. Infinite control. Of course, this is the amount you have now that you didn't have before.
That's right. Oh my goodness. That's
so
great. Oh,
yeah.
That's wonderful.
Now, I already on this video put the cable thing and some of the other stuff. So watch the video.
Which one? Which one is it? You remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Make so much video.
Okay.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
but here's a set of the clip-ons. I think you need a grip on this one, but that's not a big deal. This end comes off.
No, because I can take the grips off my old one and put it on.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, first see the thing. Here's what you got to do. You got to make the bike secure.
Yeah.
And I like to use a come-along.
Well, I have it too. I have a come-along too.
You have a come-along. Okay.
Mine's a manual one though.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just so the weight is off the front.
Yeah.
Take the top triple tree off. When you take the triple tree off, there's 2 screws that go into the clip-ons. Take clip-ons off and leave all the cables in it hanging.
What you're saying is this is called the triple tree.
That top piece. Yeah.
You got to take that off.
Well, you got to get the old clip-ons off.
Because you see, what I was going to do is put that nylon piece like you have under there, lift the bike up, take the front wheel off. You know.
You don't have to take anything off.
Take the front wheel off, and then drop the forks down that way through the back.
Yeah, I guess you could do that if you can get the weight off the bike.
Yeah, but how do you get the weight off the bike and leave that triple tree on? Then just take the triple tree off.
And just take the triple tree off.
Yeah. Okay.
Either way, it's 6 of one, half of another.
No. I know how to do it.
And then you got all the cables and stuff, all flip-flopping and all. Right. And then you've got to see what's going to be that's a problem. Now, when I put these on the R1 the first time, nothing was a problem. I just hooked everything up in a matter of a. Yeah. But when as you raise this up, things start to hit, and then you've got to figure Now you got choices, but again, to get these on and off. Take these on and off.
Now the other ones that you can buy, like
and of course Loctite all the screws.
Yeah, right. Now the ones that you can buy online for like $50. You say these screws are the only thing that's different. They give you cheap screws.
The ones you buy online, I've never used. So
okay, because Luciano said he had a problem. He said,
he bought the things from Hong Kong. Yeah, the Luciano Hong Kong one. Yeah, no, he had one. The screw broke and it was moving around.
Right. Okay,
these aren't going to break. These are aircraft grade. These are grade 8s.
Okay, this is really nice. Wow.
So these were a lot of money. So
yeah,
I mean, they're race quality. The people that made these, I think, were racers. They're nice and solid.
Wow.
Again, I made these are for an R1 throttle and different things that you may or may not need. I don't know. But again, now, if it doesn't work out, you just put it all back the way it was in a matter of an hour and you're done. Okay. But that little bit extra may be something that you'll be thrilled.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be happy.
Yeah.
It'll make you want to ride the bike more.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll charge you double. Now, use them and enjoy it.
You see, here I am. I'm on the R1, I'm down like this. Now
here you are. You're by the R1. Oh, wow, this is fun. I can't see anything.
But now this is really what I wanted, because I'm bringing myself up 2 inches.
Right. That's
right. Oh, that's beautiful.
Well, here they are.
Can't thank you enough.
Here they are.
Thank you, Wendy. And
all right. So Bob's a competent mechanic. He's an air conditioner repairman. So I imagine what we're going to see very soon is his R1, which is one of the cleanest old R1s I've ever seen. And he wanted to get rid of the rake. This will straighten the bars and raise them up. Maybe exactly what he wants. If not, guaranteed, get your money back. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Some good information, and thanks for watching. you.